Welcome to another Monday Morning Pastor, where we look at some of the things we shared in church yesterday to help us get through the week. And we were talking Sunday about pastors, and sometimes pastors really mess up. I told the story of a pastor in Michigan. This guy was a serial bank robber. He was skilled at camouflaging himself, disguising himself. He had some acting experience. And he was a serial bank robber, and he told the police when he was finally caught that he was a sex addict and he needed the money to pay for prostitutes. He was a pastor of a church. But here's the deal. Probably every week you can read of some misdeed of some religious leader. But by and large, most church leaders, most pastors, most elders, maybe they're priests, maybe they're ministers or directors or leaders, do a good job. They're humble servants. They don't do it for the money. They do it because they love God. They do it for the people. And have you ever wondered, what is their job? Does the Bible even tell us what their job is? And that's what we looked at Sunday. A really great verse that talks about our relationship to our leaders. It's in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. And let me read it to you. I want you to listen carefully as to what the job of the pastor is. Again, elder, bishop, leader, minister, whatever your particular church calls those people. It says in verse 12, chapter 5 of 1 Thessalonians, "We ask you, brothers and sisters, to acknowledge, or it can mean respect, those who work hard among you, who care for you in the Lord, and who admonish you. Hold them in the highest regard in love." One translator says, overwhelm them with love because of their work, because their work's not easy, and live at peace with one another. I don't know if you noticed the two responsibilities of those that are over us in church life. It says here that they are to care for you in the Lord. Pastoral care is the phrase that we use sometimes. People need to be cared for gently and graciously and empathetically. Sometimes they have needs that need to be met. They need to be helped. They're to be cared for. But did you catch the second word? They care for you in the Lord, and they admonish you. You know what that means? Admonish you, it means to correct you. So they are to care and they are to correct. And I don't know about you, but I don't get up every morning hoping and waiting for someone to correct me. Although marriage is about the closest thing that God has given us to maybe the perfect situation, because we're corrected by people who love us and care for us. But quite frankly, in church life, this can happen. Our leaders, our pastors care for us, but they also correct us. And we like being cared for, but we don't like being corrected or admonished or rebuked, or if I could use the word, even scolded at times. But sometimes God will use those people, church leaders, elders, pastors, to bring correction into our lives if we need it. I think it's our responsibility to consider what they say. We might not agree. We might think he's out to lunch or she's out to lunch, but we should at least say, this may be helpful to me. Their word to me and their correction to me might be helpful. I'm reminded of a verse in Psalms. It's Psalms 145, verse 5. It's an odd psalm by David where he says, "Let a righteous man strike me." What? Let a righteous man strike me? Let a righteous man strike me. That is a kindness. Then he goes on to give us explanation. "Let him rebuke me. It is like oil on my head. My head will not refuse it." So David is saying here, a righteous man, a good man, a godly man or a woman can rebuke me, can figuratively speaking, strike me, and that's a good thing. So I want to ask you today, someone may come by in your life, maybe someone in your church orbit, maybe someone in your family, maybe someone in your work environment, and they may have an admonishment for you. Before you jump all over them, stop and say, God, is there something in this rebuke? Is there something in this admonishment or encouragement that I need to hear, and take it to heart and thank Him. Thank you for watching and listening, and we will see you next time.